Hey, my travelers. So today I want to talk about the elements, entities, um, not titties, entities. And although some entities have titties, but that's besides the point. The elements, entities, and mantra. I don't know. I'm just gonna spice it up as I go. I don't really know the recipe. I'm just going to be adding things and tasting it as I go. So, um, yeah. What if I assume you know a little bit about astrology, assume you know a little bit about the elements. If not, well, perhaps you're curious and you want to listen, but you might not understand everything that I'm talking about. So, what if spirits, or what if everything was made out of the elements? That's kind of like the premise of like the philosophy I'll be using for this craft right now. What if everything is made out of the elements? As much as like water is water, and like fire is fire, like everything is made out of the elements, and especially the human is a really complex mixture of all these elements together. Um, there could even be the fifth element, the quintessence they call that which controls the ether, that the soul, what connects us to, what's in our throat, how the force that's able to manipulate the ether. In saying this, maybe this is why, like in mythology, they say that demons want souls, because demons are just creatures made out of the elements, but they do not necessarily control the ether as they wish, or they do not have access to like act, if not acting through someone else. So they're missing part of the mastery of the elements. But what if everything is made out of the elements and the human controls the elements and controls any symbol or image that you want, but like the elements are really ingrained in our matrix right now? Um, so what if we control the what if there are creatures that are made out of the elements, but that do not control all the elements? You could have creatures of earth. Some people might know where I'm going right now. Some creatures of earth, water, air, and fire. Elementals. A lot of like mythologies actually talk about such beings, creatures of smokeless fire, or mermaids, or water sprites, or genies. Shadows, or gnomes, or pixies and fairies. Um, and even when you're looking at like alcohol ads, um, you could be drinking some gin. You're drinking some some spirit. How is it in English? Like, what's the word? It's this. I think it's a spirit. Like a strong drink. And actually, the word alcohol comes from the Arabic word alcool, which is also this supposedly this word stem where the word mumble jumble talking about etymology, and I can't even pronounce my things in the right way. But yeah, alcohol or alcohol is an Arabic word for like a spirit or something, and it's also the root word for the English word ghoul, Ghoul. I don't know why like my English pronunciation sucks now. Maybe it's because I just moved back like in a French, French place. Um, but yeah, um, and perhaps even in the Bible, when they said like Jesus turned the water into wine, perhaps he just infused the water with a genie. He just put his spirit into it, and he infused the water. Now I'm gonna have fucked up people trying to like spiking your drink with with entities. Now if you do this, you're gonna pay the price. Life is gonna make you pay the price. um what else can I say? Yeah, So when you understand the elements as something not only of the physical plane, but also something that has its place in the mental world and in the spiritual world, you're able to equalize life to your liking. You know, it's kind of like a music that you tune, but the more powers you gain, the less you know what to do with them. Or for it seems like that, because it's like there's a price for everything. You know, it's when I say a price, I mean the price of breathing is life. You know, you do something, there's a consequence that happens. So like when you start playing in that, you have to remain balanced, you know. But actually understanding the elements is a good way to balance yourself. Understanding your fire, understanding the just the air. Are you breathing properly? I'm not breathing properly right now. My nose is clogged also. Just understanding the air element balances the other elements. Air balances water and fire, you know. Understanding their interactions together, like fire and water creates vapor, that's really important. Like that's, you have to like study the elements and try to like, um, try take a piece of paper and try to like think of a good, like of qualities that each element have, negative and good qualities. Like for fire, you could say fire is destructive, but you could also say that like it purifies. Like if you're putting, for example, like metal in fire, you're gonna kill all the bacteria. You know, it purifies and it gives life. It gives warmth. But fire is expansive also. You know, it expands really quickly. It's opportunistic also. It jumps from, you know, um, air. You know, air. It, air adapts to its surrounding. Air guides. You know that you need to like find a lot of like imagery for yourself and like keywords and like things that resonate with the elements so that you know how to recognize them when it plays out in people. You know, you could recognize when fire plays out in someone. You see it in their aura expands, and if you give them energy, the fire is opportunistic, it jumps on you, you know. So you have to be, you know, if you're a water sign or something, you might not get the fire to jump too much at you. You're just like, yo, I'm water, like what the fuck, dude. You know, if you're air, you're gonna be like blah, 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 blah. You're gonna feed the fire. So understanding alchemy is like a science so deep that like those who have too complex minds cannot understand it. You're looking for somebody else to give you the answers. They're within, you know. But knowing a basis, a basis to the system of the elements is very important, because I'm going to be talking about like speaking with spirits of different elemental planes, creating them, feeding them, understanding, like, you know, understanding this matrix. So I really want people to like know that the elements are important. And like even the Chinese system has like its system of elements, you know, they use like metal, then it's fire. I don't know like the order, but I know like they say that the other elements came from metal, yeah, metal, fire, water, earth, and wood. But like the elements I'm talking about right now are fire, water, air, and earth, and the ether. But the ether isn't all that important for now. Just understanding the normal elements is important. So I hope I didn't ramble too much, and that you could learn a little something or two. My voice is. I need to balance my elements. I got a little cold. I need some fire. See ya.